All right, thanks very much, Mark. Here with Bears General Manager Ryan Poles. And Ryan, I mentioned this the other day to Tom Thayer. It almost feels like a new season about to get underway here with the start of the NFC North schedule. Change, obviously, an offensive coordinator. Everything in front of the Bears, to be honest. You guys control your own destiny here. Do you agree with everything I'm saying here?
Yeah, definitely agree with that. We have the opportunity to get this thing changed up quickly, and now that the divisional games are starting up and we have rival Green Bay coming in today, there's opportunity to get momentum back on our side.
Fresh coat of paint on offense with the departure of Shane Waldron, elevation of Thomas Brown. This is never a simple process, and certainly it's not a normal process. It's happened in good ways, and sometimes it doesn't. You don't get out of it. But how do you feel about what Matt decided to do here?
Yeah, we'll see how everything goes with Thomas. I'm excited for Thomas to get this opportunity. He is a man of high character, and you can clearly see he's got the respect of the players, and he was really able to operate a really good week of practice. I thought the tempo and the urgency was up. The details were up, and I'm excited to see him call his first game.
So there's always worry about a change for a young quarterback. So did Matt have to consider that as well as you, and how ideal, though, someone of Brown's skill set is able to pick up the baton?
Yeah, with Thomas's ability to communicate at a very high level, we have a lot of optimism in terms of him being able to connect with Caleb in terms of being the play caller and the one installing the offense in the week. The positive part of this is, in terms of offensive philosophy and scheme, it's coming from, the same book. So there's not going to be, massive changes in terminology. So there's going to be continuity in the process in terms of the playbook. So for Caleb, he should be able to come out and play with a clear mind.
You mentioned, Brown did, about being solution-oriented. I've heard you say this many, many times, which obviously speaks to finding answers to problems, but also adjusting and adapting throughout the course of a game. And that was something that I know you guys sought in the process of finding an offensive coordinator that was going to be as big as anything.
Yeah, that's a big part of our game and a big part of the NFL. And that can be throughout the season, week to week, or that can be within a game. And I know Thomas has a good feel for that and good awareness of that, so we're excited to see him, execute that today.
How do you suspect the chemistry will be with Thomas and Caleb? And do their personalities align? And what did Caleb even say maybe to you about it?
Well, I can say this, through the week of practice, I really liked the amount of communication that was going on. I thought it was direct and clear and concise. Just, evaluating the execution during practice, the body language, everything was clicking at a high level, which is very encouraging.
These decisions obviously are not simple by any means. Is it an instinct feel that you got to make some sort of decision like this in the name of winning, in the name of being what's best for the football team?
Yeah, we're always going to take what's best for the team, and I know that's where Matt came from in that decision to move on from Shane and go in the direction of Thomas Brown. It's, what do we do to put this team in the best situation as possible?
And it's almost ridiculous not to think that there's a level of concern. Alarms went off. So are you even, though, surprised after that 4-2 start? On a dime, boom, here comes 3 losses.
I feel like doing this for long enough and just being in the league for long enough, there's different obstacles that come up in different forms. If that's from an execution standpoint, a play calling standpoint, or even injury, there's ebbs and flows throughout the season. Teams get in ruts, and really it's a race to, again, find solutions to those problems so you can get back on track and get back to winning ways.
All right, there's some other matters at hand. Nate Davis, what did it come down to on deciding to release Nate?
Yeah, it was just time. It was time. It wasn't working out the way it was supposed to. I had a good conversation with Nate on the way out. There are some lessons to learn from many different angles here, some controllable, some uncontrollable. But at the end of the day, it was best to move on and move in a different direction.
And obvious frustration that it didn't work out. Free agency sometimes can be a wild card. Do you approach free agency differently when you have an example like that?
Yeah, free agency is definitely, there's risk involved there. You don't have as much information as you would through avenue like the draft. It is difficult, and when I reflect and my team reflects on the things that work out really well, there's a lot of free agents on our team that it's been outstanding. But when we look at the ones that didn't go well, we just have to make sure we're learning from those situations, and maybe there's some added parts of the process to ensure that we have even more success than we've had. So we're always going to look back, do our after action to make sure that our success rate is as high as it possibly can be. So we've done that already. We'll continue to do that and learn and keep moving forward.
What has transpired on the health of safety Jaquan Brisker that necessitates a trip to IR, at least for the next 4 games?
Yeah, just wasn't making the progress that we wanted. We also know from a performance standpoint, when you're out of football for a while, there has to be a ramp-up period to get your body in shape to play the game and avoid other injuries such as soft tissue injuries. So we're going to hit the pause button, make sure that he's in a good space, because our number one thing is to make sure that our players are in a healthy place to play this game at 100%. So we're going to slow this down and take our time and allow him to take his time to come back. Would love to see him back this year, but we're just going to take it 1 week at a time.
So what are your hopes right now, and what do you need to see in this next phase of the season, which on paper is going to be challenging? You don't play the games on paper, though.
Yeah. You don't play the game on paper, and the roster doesn't stay on paper. It's got to come alive, and we got to execute at a high level. But I like to see a level of consistency where all 3 phases are playing well. It's been a beautiful thing to see our defense play well throughout the season. Special teams has had some really good weeks as well. If we can get the execution of our offense in a good place, this team is capable of doing really good things, but we have to tighten up. We got to get things going in the right direction. We have some tough opponents coming up, but I know the character of this team. I know the men on this team. They're not going to back down from anything, so they're going to go 1 week at a time and get this thing turned around.
When it comes to the Packers, we know them well, obviously. They're a strong football team, but when they've played the Bears, the biggest difference in these last however many games is the turnover. It's 19-3, and it's not in our favor. I know it's not just that, but if that even clears up, there's a different outcome possible.
The one thing I think we've done a pretty good job is taking the ball away in terms of our defense. I think we've done a better job with the turnovers on offense. So I know it's been emphasized from the very beginning is the football. We all know that, with Coach Eberflus. So we got to continue to do that. And I think there's going to be some opportunities for us to take the ball away today. So if we can, continue to protect it and score touchdowns, we're going to put ourselves in a good position to win.
All right, they got a heck of a playmaker in Jaden Reed, another local guy. Boy, local guys are starting to really play some good football, and he's just he can do it all. He's very, very good.
Yeah, we should give a shout out to all the high school coaches in this area, because there's a lot of players on NFL rosters from the Chicago area, and I still remember Jaden coming up on a local visit, and spending time with us. A really good player, and he's continued to develop. The one part of his game that's been really good is just run after catch. So not only do you have to cover him, you got to make sure that you tackle him, get him on the ground if he does get a reception or gets the ball in his hand. So our guys are focused on that, and they're going to need to know where he's at and make sure they get him to the ground so he doesn't create explosives.
All right, well, good luck for today's game and this new battle in the NFC North. It's about to commence. Good luck. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.